All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, we're going to be taking a look at different draft targets for the interior offensive line position for the New York Jets, right? A huge position of need. It's a thin group. We don't have tons of talent there. The Jets didn't really address the position at all in free agency outside of Dan Feeney. And of course, I'm talking guard and center here. We're looking at Mike LaFleur coming in with a brand new system. This system's success is going to be predicated on winning in the trenches in the running game, right? So we need guys to step up. We need to have success in the trenches, okay? So with that being said, let's jump in. So the first player I could see the Jets taking with the 23rd overall pick, right? So a day one prospect here is Oklahoma center Creed Humphrey. Now, of course, there's a big rumor that he could go with the 34th overall pick, but it's looking like if the Jets want Creed Humphrey, 23 has got to be the pick because the Pittsburgh Steelers need a center. The Green Bay Packers need a center. Both of those teams are obviously picking behind the New York Jets. And then, of course, we cannot rule out the Tampa Bay Bucks with the 32nd pick overall. Okay, so Creed Humphrey could definitely be in play here at spot number 23. And how could you not love Creed Humphrey? I feel like we all love Humphrey. He's considered by many people out there as one of the better centers to come out in the last couple of seasons. He's pretty much everything you want. He's a polished, productive center at the collegiate level with a huge upside. Great size, athletic, moves well in space. He can get to the second level. Really quick feet. Great in the running game. Solid in pass protection. He would be an awesome system fit for what Mike LaFleur wants to accomplish on offense with the zone blocking attack here. So at the end of the day, if Creed Humphrey is the pick for the Jets at 23, I personally would love it. I would really, truly love it. And people out there will say, hey, the team reached. The Jets, Joe Douglas, they reached on this prospect. You could have gotten him, you could have traded back at to 31, 32 to get Creed, or you could have waited till 34 and maybe roll the dice and he'll still be there. But look, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If Creed Humphrey comes in and he's the franchise center for the next 5 to 10 seasons, growing with the new rookie quarterback, who even cares where he's picked? And this pick wasn't even ours to begin with. It was the Seattle Seahawks. So it's just that extra first-round pick. If he's the guy that Joe Douglas has identified for this offensive line to be a staple moving forward, then you pick him at 23 and you don't look back. Next up, a really exciting player here, guard/tackle from USC, Elijah Vera-Tucker, 6'4", 310. We know exactly who Elijah Vera-Tucker is. He's a safe bet. He's a high floor player, probably outside of Kyle Pitts, probably the highest floor out of all of the draft prospects. We know exactly what he's going to be bringing to an NFL franchise. He projects more to the NFL as a guard, right? Like a starting left guard, but he's played left tackle before last season and had a ton of production doing that. Great size, dominant in the running game. To be honest with you, I don't really know if Vera-Tucker's going to be there on the board for the Jets at spot number 23. Based off of the teams picking in front of the New York Jets that have offensive line issues, like the Indianapolis Colts, the Tennessee Titans, the Chicago Bears, who else? The Vikings, the Chargers might take them, but there's tons of offensive linemen in this draft with, Darisaw, Penei Sewell, and Tevin Jenkins, so many different guys. It'll be interesting to see if Vera-Tucker falls because he projects more to the NFL as a guard than that traditional tackle. Maybe he can be on the board for the Jets at 23, and I can pretty much guarantee if Vera-Tucker's there, if Joe Douglas and the Jets are on the clock and Vera-Tucker's on the board, that'll be the pick. That'll be the pick. You team him up right next to Mekhi Becton at left guard and just let him go to work. So I love Vera-Tucker. I hope he's on the board. I think there's a chance he could be there, but the Jets might have to look out here and there for Vera-Tucker to be there. So as we shift gears into the middle rounds here, the first man up is guard from Ohio State, one of my favorite players in the entire draft, Wyatt Davis, 6'3", 315. Wyatt Davis is an absolute mauler, right? He just plays with a mean streak. You look at what Wyatt Davis has done throughout the course of his Ohio State career, it's been extremely productive, right? Really effective in the running game, good zone blocker. I think he would come in and be a great system fit. Now, I will say this about Davis. Although he projects really well to the next level, and he has a ton of really good tape, and the size is there, and everything is there as a prospect, he got hurt towards the tail end of the season, and he was actually playing through an injury as well before that, which hurt his stock. Okay, so that's obviously not good. If the medics check out, and right now the rumor is Wyatt Davis is 1,000% good to go. If the medicals check out, Wyatt Davis could be a steal here. He could be our starting guard for the next 10 seasons, and we can get him in the second round. Right now, granted, it is a high second round pick, and we need that guy to contribute no matter who it is. But I mean, when we're looking at this position, when was the last time we've had dominant guard play? It's been a long time. So Wyatt Davis is there at spot number 34. And again, the medicals check out. I would love it if the Jets were to land Davis. Next up, center/guard from Wisconsin Whitewater, Quinn Meyers, 6'3", 320. Quinn Meyers not only is just a first-team All-American, but this guy just wants to go out and attack people. Like, I didn't know anything about Meyers up until the Senior Bowl, when I was watching the Senior Bowl practices and whatnot. And Quinn Meyers is just out here humiliating other Senior Bowl participants. All right, I'm looking at Meyers' system fit. Right, what has he done at the collegiate level? Because again, I didn't know pretty much anything about him. He dominates in the run game. This guy is so fun to watch. He plays just like Mekhi Becton did at Louisville, where he's playing through the whistle. He's a total Robert Saleh guy. By the way, Joe Douglas has met with Quinn Meyers, so there is that level of mutual interest here between Meyers and the team. I think he would come in and fit the system. There has been that report too that the Jets maybe want to keep Connor McGovern at center for the season in the new system and see how it plays out. So we can take Quinn Meyers and plug him in at guard. And then maybe, Connor McGovern, say we want to move off of his contract, say he doesn't do well, or, bottom line is we part ways with McGovern. Quinn Meyers can either A, stay at guard, or B, slide in at center and have no issues. So Quinn Meyers, a guy to keep your eye on. I don't think he'll be there in round 3. Some people say he's going in round 3. I think he's going to be a late day 2 guy, and obviously the Jets don't, or a late round 2 guy, I should say. And the Jets obviously don't have that late second round pick. The second round pick is the second pick in the second round, right? 34th overall. So if we want Meyers, we have to hope that he's going to fall to that first pick in the third, or that, our first third round pick. But it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I love Quinn Meyers. Next up, another Ohio State Buckeye here. This time it's center Josh Meyers, 6'5", 315. Josh Meyers, to me, I feel like is underrated. Maybe I'm just valuing Meyers more because of his system fit right in the zone blocking attack here over more of like a power center, like a Dickerson from Alabama or something like that. But overall, I really feel like Josh Meyers is being slept on throughout this entire process. I don't think Meyers will ever be a top 5 guard. I truly don't. But I think he can be a reliable starting center for years on end. And whenever you're talking about a reliable starting player, at a pretty important position at center, and you can get him in round 3, I think you have to, and especially because the Jets have multiple third round picks here, I think you have to almost take a swing. If he's on the board with maybe that second, third round pick, I would be all in with Josh Meyers. Great in the running game, incredible size. Like I said, good in zone blocking. I think the upside is there as well. I think really the only thing with Josh Meyers is sometimes he can be a little clunky getting to the second level, but at the end of the day, this is the third round we're talking about. I mean, we have guys going in the top 5, top 10 that have red flags and concerns. We're talking about the third round, so of course guys are going to have, areas of improvement and whatnot. So I think Josh Meyers' pros outweigh the cons, and he could be a building block for years to come for a team that desperately needs a center, or center help, I should say. So I think Meyers could be in play. So now we're going to shift to the later rounds, right? Who's a sleeper? Who's a guy that the Jets can maybe draft in rounds 4 or 5 or something like that could come in and possibly start, or maybe start in year 2? And I apologize if I sound like a broken record here because I've mentioned his name a lot on this channel. But I just think when you're projecting this player to the New York Jets specifically, he's exactly what you need, especially in a later round prospect. It's center from Kentucky, Drake Jackson. 6'2", 310 pounds. Drake Jackson has been a 4-year starter. Okay, 4 years being a staple on the Wildcats offensive line. 4 years of experience playing in a zone blocking attack. That is huge. Just from an experience standpoint, an experience perspective, just the transition to the Jets offense, right? The Jets offensive blocking scheme is going to be seamless. Yes, he might be a little small, but he has 4 years of production in the SEC, going up against guys from Auburn and Alabama and Florida and Texas A&M and schools that consistently pump out talent in the trenches. I look at Drake Jackson in the running game. He's dominant. I look at him in the pass game. He's okay. He needs work, for sure. I'm not going to lie to you. But I think when you're talking about round 4, yeah, guys are going to have flaws. Guys are going to have, again, things to work on at the next level. They're not going to be perfect prospects. So I think if we're the Jets sitting there in round 4, round 5, and we attack corner, we attack outside linebacker, we attack wide receiver, maybe, who knows, edge rusher, and we skip on interior offensive line we ignore the position just like we've been doing in free agency, and we want to target a center later, I think Drake Jackson is the perfect fit. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who are some interior offensive linemen that you guys are checking out? Of course, we didn't talk about all of them, right? But I feel like these guys specifically would all come in and be upgrades. They would all come in and be great system fits, and they would all be building blocks for the future. These guys aren't short-term, 1-year stopgap types of guys. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.